Roll dice, be nice, and stay tuned. This is the Live to Die podcast.
So I've been working on a book that's been on my to-read list for ages, and a couple of my friends have rightfully given me a little bit of flack for having not read it yet.
The Bible.
Yes, Trent. The Bible. No, I got
Of
nothing.
Pathfinder?
That's just the core rule book, but I have read that. No, so I finally started reading Wizard of Earthsea, and I'm really enjoying it. And there was a part I read the other night, I'm still pretty early on in it, in which they're talking about like the magic to change things is the most powerful, but it's the most difficult to learn because you have to think about the effect for anything you change. Like if you're exercising the power to change something to something else, it's going to have a rippling cause and effect around the world. And there's a great line in the book that says, light a candle is to cast a shadow. Like any action you take, you will have to be responsible for the reactions. And it made me think, from your characters' points of view, what do you think they see as their justification for doing what they do? Like at this point, you're a high level character. You do, I mean, it's an adventuring game. You're probably going to kill people, but like you're involved in some really high level stuff. You're using magic. You're messing with organizations that are a part of the governing tapestry of a whole country. Now, you know, wrongly so based on your aspirations. And there's some other, like, there's lots of fiction that sort of talk about this. And if you want to sort of move outside of fantasy, there's a lot of like sci-fi that gets into like trans or post-humanism of talking about when you have powers or abilities that are different from normal people, does that change the moral load on you? Like I remember there was an old comic I read called, I can't even remember what it's called now, but it sort of talks about like a superhero decides to kill the president because they feel like they're lying to the country, but they feel like because they have the power to be aware of it, that they should do something or not. So
like an inherent responsibility.
Kind of, but that's always based on some sort of ethical model that says you are vested with the authority or the insight or the clarity to make that decision. And so I'm curious how you see your characters, Why do you think they feel like they should, could, or are allowed to be doing what they're doing in the world?
I'm like mad at myself for bringing this up, but you saying that because you've been doing so much Nicolas Cage lately, all that came into my head is him in National Treasure being like, it means those who have the ability have the responsibility.
So with great power comes great responsibility. Do you think Val believes that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think that Val is, well, she's an evil character, and she came into it with the, I'm doing this because I'm just, you know, protecting myself kind of thing. But I think that now she's maybe getting more jumpy because she doesn't really know why she's doing it. Like, I think she feels some sort of drive to combat this thing that they've seen, but I don't know that she necessarily like knows why. And I think that makes her uncomfortable.
Okay. So you're in kind of an odd space where you're not sure why your character
I think
does.
it's maybe kind of like in the, you know, so probably a story for Val that happens before this adventure and, you know, probably after. She's kind of within like an arc and a journey that is, we're kind of like maybe just in the middle of right now of like, to me, I see this character's story being like a lot beyond this particular adventure, but that this is maybe almost kind of like, even though she's older and stuff like that, like actually more of an origin story for Val.
Okay. Anyone else? What do you think is that your character's justification for why they get to do this or why they are?
Well, I can give Watson's motivation. His singular motivation is healing people.
Okay.
And he really does not, you know, care about the surrounding circumstances. He doesn't care if they're on nation A, nation B, if their motivations are good or evil. His guiding principle is that he will nurse them back to health because all of that other stuff is sort of beyond him. He, you know, in his long life, at the beginning, he really hated humanity, and in the larger sense, not humans, but, you know, living creatures.
Society?
Yeah. Because he thought that it existed to tear things down. And then as he got older, he saw that even if that was the case, he can counteract it by building them back up. So his motivation solely and singularly is keeping things alive.
Okay, so you're doing this because you believe it will reduce harm to people.
I think he sees the 4 people in front of him that he's been combined with, and he wants to keep these 3 people alive.
It's a really, really narrow for him.
Yeah.
What's really right in front of him.
I also kind of want to know, are we ever going to discover more about the entity that Watson has some sort of relationship with?
You'll just have to keep listening and find out.
Wow.
Jason, Jared, any thoughts for you on kind of why your characters?
Drosharis, I don't want to give a lot away here.
Okay.
Because I have some plans like as we progress.
Sure.
Drosharis is a weapon that was pointed in a direction for like a lot of his life.
Mm-hmm.
And Drosharis is now on a point where in this adventure that maybe that work is not so hunky-dory anymore.
Uh-huh.
And like as this goes on, starting to figure out who he can trust, who he can't trust. This is not... Drosharis doesn't normally work with 4 people, right? Like at most he's worked with Fox. So Drosharis isn't quite sure why he's here anymore, but he knows that he's here with this group of people. And there was that conversation we all had that was like, we all have different reasons for being here, but we all have the same direction. So let's go that way. That's kind of what Drosharis' motivation is now that I will discuss out loud.
I think Fox is... I haven't gotten to a ton of his backstory stuff or current feelings about things, but I think he's a little jaded. Like he's lived this life as like some sort of heroic position, but he's seen a lot, and I think it's jaded him a lot. And the more that he helped people, the more he felt maybe it was kind of a waste of time. Because it just was the cyclical thing that kept happening. No matter how many people you help, that many people end up needing help again.
Oh.
So I think when Fox came into this, it was very much like, this is what I do. I'm still part of this organization, and I'm good at it. And I think his word does mean something to him, and his duty means something to him. But I think he's kind of he hasn't always been in a good place throughout this whole thing.
Okay.
I think it's really interesting to hear everybody's responses because maybe with the exception of Watson, everybody has a pretty negative outlook on what their character is like feeling and thinking. Because I was also, as we were talking about it, just thinking like, I also think Val is motivated by hate. Like she hated the Grey Gardeners and she hates what they're doing. And so it's like, that is maybe sort of a driving force for her also. But I think it's really interesting because we've talked before about how this adventure is written to kind of emulate the gothic horror genre. And all of our characters have kind of taken this path that I think is really indicative of that genre also, of like there's like a bleakness and kind of like a disillusionment that people have, and maybe seeing also like darker sides of humanity. Like you think like, oh, maybe there's like a bigger thing at play here, but really it's just that like people suck and are willing to do sucky things. And so I think it's kind of interesting to see, we're all such tortured heroes.
I mean, I think like as you, especially in a game like this, right, where you level and you're like considered some of the more powerful individuals in the world or whatever, like there's a weight to it. You know what I mean? There's a huge responsibility to it too. And it's generally pretty terrible stuff.
I also think it's interesting because you do have some of that bleakness. And it was interesting to hear you all sort of bring the characters really like almost experiences forward into the philosophy of why do they get to say how the world should look. And of course, there's always sort of the conversation of that, those who have power will create an ideology which supports their use of power. But this is, a fun role-playing game. And I think one of the things that it'll be interesting to see, and I feel like you're kind of in the midst of it now, this third and final act, while there is a lot of that bleakness and tortured heroes and like Poe's work, rarely does a Poe story end with a big badass boss fight. Which is like definitely what we're building to in a Pathfinder adventure. So I think it's kind of cool and to see that transition. And hopefully we're all on board with that like we're playing an adventure game. So the goal here is to build to what we hope will be a victory. And I think that's I really liked how you talked about it, Jane, that like you're sort of in an arc of transformation for your character. And it's kind of fun for us to get to see, at least for me, to see these high level characters who maybe have become disillusioned or who are starting to sort of gain a consciousness for their actions of life. And that maybe this adventure is that opportunity to make an actual difference. And it can be depressing in real life to think about that cyclical nature, but it maybe in this game, these characters can make a world-changing difference.
Well, and I think that's a little bit what I was trying to get at with like Val's like point that she's at right now, is that she came into this disillusioned. She came in being like, she's been an assassin since she was a child, basically, and like seeing this terrible side of the world. And then I think now, and it's again, the cool thing about playing at such a high level is that it kind of makes more narrative sense that gods care about what you're doing, or like there are these really high stakes because like now we are kind of at a level that warrants that. And so I think it's really cool because at least for Val, I see it as kind of like, maybe not right now at this point in the story, but she is on this path to like rediscovering a purpose that is actually tied into like, and I think to the question of like, why do you get to decide what the world should look like or that this force should be stopped? It's like Val has been given a directive by higher powers at this point.
Mm. Well, speaking of being on a path, when we last recorded, Val, and thank you, Val and Fox were on a path down into the Citadel of the Great Gardeners.
Whose face is it? Ugh. Wait, can we all guess really quick who we think it is?
Well, you know, it's been a week for our listeners. Do you mind if I just reread that intro sentence for the room?
They can just re-listen. I'm kidding. Yeah.
Go back, you worthless pieces of
shit. Yeah, don't be so lazy.
God. No, please keep listening to our podcast. So you work your way down the steps and deeper and deeper until you kind of have an idea of like, oh yeah, this is probably about the depth we were at going down the north staircase, but this time you're now here on the south staircase. As you worked your way down, you came to a really small, like 10 foot by 10 foot room with a single empty chair, as if a guard should be sitting in it. A wooden shield on the wall, bearing a blood-stained mask and some blocky writing. The writing above the mask and shield read, "Your mask is your shield," and below it, "Exposure means elimination." And what I told you is that when you got closer last time, you realized it was not a mask, but instead a flayed and preserved face that looked familiar to you.
Did you put this in here on purpose? This face off?
You know I didn't, but I really should have.
Wow, you've been
John Travolta. You know what, Jason?
Nice
hero patch.
Nice. I love that hero patches are supposed to be given for like good story moments, but James just gives them out to like best pun.
I
you
think
make more puns, Jane.
Yeah,
they're just
seriously.
moments of celebration of enjoying playing a game together. So who do you think it is, Jane?
I think it's the handsome coward that we encountered very early on in this adventure. He sold us out. I think that he actually was a Grey Gardener and that we got bamboozled into thinking he was a victim, but that, he got his face chopped off.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly have no idea. I really just hope that it's not the like gnome from the map place.
Yeah.
That would make me very sad.
Me too.
I also
the
hope
one
it's
we
not
freed?
Yeah.
I hope it's not the magistrate who was, because that would mean that he was like shady from the get-go.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the hosts.
So real quick,
That could be one of the hosts.
Wait. Jared, what do you think?
I don't know. I thought maybe it could be Camilla.
Horrible.
Shit.
Oh my God, if we got sent on this. Oh, wait. If she is a Grey Gardener, then she's trying to kill us because she sent us to this party.
Yeah, good. Her face is on the wall then.
Gasp.
Wow.
I don't think that maybe they would send that message or they would have had time to send that message. So
It's Bill the Conqueror.
I don't know.
Oh, Bill.
Bill.
So
It's Ray from Frost.
Oh, I would be sad if it was Ray from Frost.
It's Ray from Frost, Montana.
Or if
not a
it was
lot of work
Polar
for
Ray.
you.
Both Rays.
Polar Rays.
We're worried about them.
Any rays on the wall.
You'd be
not
nice to
allowed.
Ray.
So I was looking up some names. The gnomish cartographer was
Barnaby?
Tristel Liendi.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Tristel.
Tristel.
The magistrate was Ortwald Garmino. And I'm trying to find the name of the handsome stranger because it's
While
been a
you do
very
that, I
long
would just
time.
like to revisit that my personal favorite moment of the entire podcast is when we're letting Tristel Liendi go. And she's like, when will I know to come back? And Trent's like, in 3 years. And Jason's like, when the horns of freedom sound.
I fucking forgot about that. Jesus.
Good
That one
times.
gets me every time.
That was a good line.
That was a preview too, right?
Yeah, it was one of our previews.
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, and so was the handsome stranger was a whole fucking thing.
I
Think you
believe you
was
said he was
handsome?
hot.
You and Trent really hit that. Well, I can't find the handsome stranger's name, but it was a banker.
Well,
it's not
that's
him.
Watson's
John
other motivation
Stamos.
is he's motivated by which NPCs are hot.
It's John Stamos.
My sexuality is my own interest, okay?
It's dragons. That's why I'm here.
I fuck dragons.
There's the
You
clip for
fuck.
this week's episode.
Well, welcome to our monster fucking podcast.
Our
Okay.
fifth podcast.
The suspense is killing me. Can we learn who this is?
It's the face of a female elf.
Female elf.
The traitorous Grey Gardener who gave you her invitation to the party.
Oh.
Zendaya.
Zendaya.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, it looks like they did in fact catch her. Flay her face from her body, preserve it, and tack it to this shield.
That was actually very obvious. I don't know why we didn't
Yeah.
guess that.
Totally.
Oh my.
I'm less sad though.
I will say your That's Odd will also pick up for you, Val, that there's a bit of a blood stain on this chair where a guard should be.
Ah, probably nothing.
Do we want to take the shield and use it?
Well, you guys aren't
That's on
here.
their side.
A fair, like a way to scare the shit out of people? Like,
It's
It's
on
kind of
their
fucking
side.
dark.
You and I are like, do you remember that time back when in the Battle of 1412, right?
okay. Mm-hmm.
Horrible death, but they just managed to eke out a victory. I mean, that was incredible reading.
So
Is-
many
is-
people must have died that day.
Is the joke here that Watson's 3,000 years old or that old people are into war history?
Absolutely the
second
second. Yeah.
Warfare lore over here?
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
Right.
the Battle of 3217.
Oh, of course, yes.
Bloodbath. Lost a
Awful.
lot of good people that day.
But you know what came out of that was the use of airplanes to bomb ahead of the ground forces. I mean, genius, utter genius.
I believe it started as alchemists just dropping stuff out of the
Yes, straight out of their flying machines.
magic.
I love the idea that all old men in Pathfinder have either lore brewing or lore warfare lore. And it's just one of the two.
Yep.
You're like, I'm sorry, he's a brewing lore guy. I'm a warfare lore
It's
guy.
the only two choices.
Yeah.
Also, in retrospect, it was like a terrible plan to leave the two old men together.
Yeah, that was probably an oversight.
Have you heard the stories of Bill the Conqueror?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Billiam.
Bill of Purple.
I met Bill the Conqueror back in 1303.
Oh, yes, he was an Andorran, wasn't he?
I believe he was. Yes, he was Andor.
You son of a bitch,
yes.
Bill the Conqueror is my second cousin.
Wow. So back to Fox. and Val.
Right.
Yeah, Val will just look at Fox and be like, looks like the gardener's caught up to our friend over here.
Yeah, unfortunate for her.
Yeah. Anyway, bloodstain on the chair where there seems to have been a guard at one point. Probably nothing. Should we go ahead?
Probably a friend came through and took care of that.
Oh,
Another bit.
right.
Yeah, he's useful, Jane. He's actually a helpful ally.
Fuck that guy.
So you have another door to the east in this room, which if your estimations are correct, you feel like Watson and Drosharis are probably to the east. You're not sure how far to the east, but the one lone door seems to lead the direction you think that they would be.
Can I listen at the door?
Sure. So you listen at the door and you don't hear anything.
Can I
Wait,
ask?
sorry.
Ooh.
It's the secret check.
Now you don't.
Can
hear
I
me.
ask at this point, knowing that the assault is imminent, from whence maybe a 5-foot square within 30 feet of Watson would the magic be emanating from?
So you're in the room, there's a door, and you feel like it's about 20 feet south of you
Okay.
and about 30-ish feet west.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sorry, I laughed because through the fog of war, there's a square in that exact area, but we don't know that exists. So.
Yeah.
So Watson's like, it's over.
Cut that mic.
It's over to our right somewhere, Droshors.
Yes. I was almost like, no, you're left, but that's table left, not character left. Way to be in character, Trent. So
Do you remember the great battle of...
Jesus Christ. So Fox and Val.
We don't hear anything.
Yep.
Well, continue on.
Are you being stealthy?
Are we at
No,
that door or the next doors?
This door.
Okay.
You're over there.
The westmost
Yeah.
on the map.
So you've come down, and both of you are high enough in stealth that you're just both automatically sneaking, I think, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
So you open the door. And this is sort of the mirrored room, if you will, if you're thinking about symmetrical basements. This is sort of the mirrored room to the armory where you found all the magical weapons a few episodes ago. So you open this door and you find a stone room. The south wall features a slate board with cramped writing and a large stylized picture of an angry ghost.
It's probably nothing.
Probably not.
I just pictured like Boo from Mario.
Oh yeah, angry ghost. That is an
Turn your
angry
back and
ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, that one got me.
That's it. That's all we saw.
And then there's also double doors leading to the east on the other side of the room.
Val sticks her tongue out at the picture of the angry ghost.
Touch it.
She disintegrates immediately.
Okay, cool. You just walk through the room.
Do you want to check the doors?
Do you have a picture of the angry ghost?
Can we see the
No.
angry ghost?
Nope.
Is it Boo from Mario?
Do you want to examine the drawing more closely?
I would like to.
Without your friends, not without your friends, not without your friends.
You know what? You're not here. I would just like to do that's odd in here now that we're in the new place and see if I can notice one non-obvious thing.
Sure. So obviously, drawing of a ghost is odd, but I think what's less obvious is all the writing around it. You realize that this is essentially a briefing room. And what's up there, and this is why I found it particularly funny for the large angry ghost, is it seems to be a depiction of what they suspect would happen when the Grey Death was released from the guillotine.
Excellent. This is exactly what I was hoping.
Trent just
So like a motivational poster?
That they're like, somebody with chalk was just like, okay, how do I explain this to you guys? Big angry ghost, what we're releasing.
And they're like, I'm sorry, does it have hands?
Yeah.
And I love the idea that now retrospectively, that giant fucking 2-hour episode that we released is just Boo.
Yeah.
Just beating the shit out of all of them.
Yeah.
King Boo.
Don't come
And
at us. Don't come
So
at us, Nintendo.
Val's going to be quiet for a second and just be like, oh my fucking God, it's the Grey Death.
Yeah.
They're so stupid. And keep going.
They are dead or?
So stupid, it's genius.
Perhaps they've been waylaid by some sort of drawing on a wall.
Let's give them 10 more minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so we proceed on.
So there's double doors to the east.
Can we listen?
Sure. You listen. Yeah.
Can you not roll like crap?
No. Not until it's combat. Then I roll fucking aces.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't hear anything. Just the beating of your own heart. And remember, I've kind of noted this each episode. I want to keep reminding you that like all these rooms are lit by torches, but something about the shadows seems to move wrong. It's just unsettling. It's uncomfortable.
I actually noticed that in one of the like recently published episodes when we first came down here, and I was like, fuck, we never followed up on that situation.
Could be anything.
Shadows. Is there anything we can do about that? Like, can we roll a knowledge on that or something?
You can try. Do you want to roll like a knowledge occult? What's your occult
I want
bonus?
to do a call.
An occult?
You're not here.
Did you say occult or knowledge
We
of
should
occult?
really focus on these
Occult.
shadows, don't you think, Watson?
27.
Where am I?
Okay. I mean, you suspect that you do remember, we've talked about how like when you go, you felt it when you went up and came back down, that the deeper you go in the Citadel, the more you feel this just pressure on your mind.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so maybe it's linked to that, but you also don't know. Like there's weird shit. You know that Nelibit was down here hunting sack hills, like fear demons. So it could be related to that. It's spooky as shit. So maybe it's about fear. It could be many things is the problem. It's sort of like when a computer freezes and you're like, I don't fucking know. It could be the internet, the computer, a piece of software you're running. It's maybe one of those or something else.
Someone was mentioning that in like a different game, a different Pathfinder game, there's like some sort of object or spell that allows you to like walk through fire and then appear in fire in a different location. And what?
You fucking nerd.
Well, someone said it.
In this game?
It's
In Pathfinder, it was like one of their other games.
yeah, it's something that takes place in another game that we're actively
Yeah, there's
playing.
I forget whose character had it. It's either
like
a
a
spell
ring.
or it's a ring of fire jumping.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah. But anyway, now I'm kind of concerned
cool.
that like that's what is going on here, that these are somehow like, portals and somebody's going to come popping out at any second.
Possibly.
Okay.
I like to build characters. We mentioned that before. And I built this psychic shadow character.
Ooh.
And as we've been down here, I get a lot of those vibes from the things that have happened to us, that there is some shadowy psychic individual down here.
Interesting.
I would also like to put forward the theory that the crypts that we're in at the moment are at some point we're going to realize the structure itself is a being of some kind, like a
Interesting.
monster
Ooh.
or I don't know. Creepy.
So double doors to the east. You don't hear anything through them.
James is like, you guys are all
Stealth it
full of shit.
It's like everyone's stalling. Yeah, let's just stealth in.
All right, go ahead, move your figures up there. You move up to the doors. You open them up, and you once again see a wide and long room, similarly proportioned to the room you were in at the bottom of the other staircase that had the worm impression in it. This room as well has 8 what you now know to be crypt doors, 4 to the north and 4 to the south, each made of a rusted metal with bare gaps where a plaque or plate was removed more recently. You think those same nameplates. You see additional doors, 2 doors on the east side of the room. But the most noteworthy feature is that in the center of the room, a large table stands, covered in maps and other documents. You do see a small writing desk just to the south of the double doors you came through that holds several instruments and old rags. Several writing instruments and like old rags.
Everyone's making creeped out faces because
No
you just
people.
said rags.
Right.
Rags.
Can I sense the unseen, please?
It is a fucking ability of yours. Yeah. So what I'll say is, as soon as you walk into the room, you swear you saw one of the rags on the desk twitch.
Yeah.
Val shoots the rag.
Let's roll for initiative.
Oh, snap.
You
Well,
know
there's
what?
your signal. It's a gunshot.
Exactly. A crack.
I believe they are here.
Just walk in the door, see the rag, and like, back.
So
Beautiful.
yeah, you can roll
Wish it was an
stealth
attack,
or
but-
actually roll perception because you noticed the claw, Jane.
Okay.
Can I roll stealth?
You can roll stealth, Fox. Watson and Drosharis are definitely perception because you are. But both of you give yourself a +1 because you're waiting, listening for an audible signal. And I imagined Val saying, "Ah, blah." It's probably that signal.
What'd you get, bro?
Yeah, what do you got, Fox?
50.
Holy fuck!
Damn.
Nice.
It's a nat 20.
Hell yeah.
Watch.
Cool.
You'll go third. James
Did we
will
ever
go
say if we were
before
using
you.
critical initiative? Have we ever talked
I don't
about
think
that?
so.
One of the Pathfinder creators was like one of the different writers for that talked about a optional rule that he kind of came up with, which was if you roll a nat 20 on initiative, you gain an extra action on your first turn.
Oh.
We've done that in one of your other games
Yeah.
before, yeah.
And if you roll a natural 1 on initiative, you start with 1 fewer actions on your first
I
turn.
like that.
I'll do it.
You
I'm
want
in.
to pick it up? House rule, critical initiative?
I'll vote. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I just
Yeah,
rolled
yeah.
a 20.
Well, it
so.
doesn't matter, Jane. We voted.
Jesus.
Well, you weren't even listening. Oh, you were doing math. I thought you were on your phone.
Yeah, actually, I was
sorry
looking
for
at a dress
attacking
I'm maybe going to buy, but
Okay, so we've got critical initiative from Fox. Who else has their initiative ready to rock and or roll?
I do.
What do you got, Trent?
I have a 47.
Nice. Is that critical
Wow.
initiative?
I don't know, is it?
Natural 1 or natural
No,
20?
it's an 18 on the die.
That's what I'll say, though, is if we're playing with critical initiative, you have to own up when you roll a natural 1 on initiative.
I have a 38.
And Dro, what do you got?
34.
Wow, that's...
Whoa.
Pretty low.
It's because you were
Natural
talking about all
3?
that fucking
Yeah.
war past.
You're like reminiscing.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
I got caught up in that.
Natural,
I was like, oh shit.
natural 6?
5.
Ooh,
We're gonna
that.
add some bonuses
I just-
for Battlefield Purveyor and all that stuff, but it didn't
Did you
really
get your
do me any
+1?
good. Yeah.
Wow.
I just imagine Dro like sitting on a crate with his cane like up by his chin, like, yes.
I imagine it's like the giant sword, but he's like
Resting on it, chatting with Watson.
You hear the gunshot and just think it's part of your memories.
Oh, God.
Do you remember the first time you heard a gunshot?
And Watson's just like, I'm in the room.
All right. Well, I've got all the initiative set up. So I think here's what's going to happen. So, Val, I think you speak out before you can even act, alerting Fox that something is off.
Thrag! Ah!
And in doing so, Fox, you will get to act first. So you can spend an action to seek and see what the fuck.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to do that.
Actually, so if I remember, yeah. Because it's...
Because it looks like a rag.
I'm trying to remember the exact way it works. Stealth as initiative versus perception is one of those things that like I always learn and then quickly forget. But I think it's, well, you'll be acting first. Your awareness of it is your DC against, or is it your roll? I think it's your roll against their DC or something. I don't fucking know. But something's hidden. You know, there's a weird rag, John, going on over there.
Let's seek.
All right. So you know where to seek. So you can pick the appropriate shape because
Okay.
Val has indicated that for you. Go ahead and roll. I'll let you roll yourself a perception check. You know, usually that's secret, but you know what? Fuck it. We're in combat. You broadly know something's going
You
on.
got this, Fox.
Roll
Where's
that shit
perception
for me.
again? I always lose perception on here.
Just
To
look for
the
your
top.
initiative, if nothing else.
Top to middle.
All right.
All right.
What do you got?
35.
Ooh. Okay. That's you just looks like a rag. You don't see anything on the desk that stands out to you.
All these extra actions are going to really help.
That's right. Yeah, you do have an extra action. You're so quick. That rag. It's a rag.
All right.
So you have 3 actions left because you critical initiatived.
Okay.
And she's gonna go, the rag! The rag!
The rag. You know the rag. All right. Fox is going to move into the room
Okay.
to the south and east a little bit.
Kind of squaring off, looking at the desk where the rags are.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to stay in range melee of them? Like, do you want to keep in polearm range of the desk?
No, that's like 10 feet back is good.
Okay. So just a little outside of your reach.
And then can I seek again?
Fuck yeah. That's why I love recall knowledge and seeking being actions in 2nd edition, is that it's an action economy thing in combat. And like hypothetically, if you roll a 1, you get false information. So maybe I should make this next one secret, but whatever. Go ahead and roll it. And if it's a 1 and I give you false information, just role play like a boss.
Okay, 37.
Ooh, okay. Something on the desk looks off. You can't quite place it in this like moment of heart pumping adrenaline.
Okay.
You're looking at it. You trust Val at this point pretty implicitly. If nothing else, Val's extremely good at shooting first and asking questions later. And Val says something's off about that desk. You've squared off, you trust her, but you don't know what it is. You don't know where to aim your attack.
I'm going to pull up my hood and go invisible.
Oh, fuck yes. So, thump.
And Val's just like, what?
I say,
You were gone.
bye.
Bye.
Watson, you act now as you hear something going through that door.
Excellent. Watson will throw open the door and go, hello, and go 5-10 into the doorway.
So like going south into the room.
Yeah, I'm along the north wall.
Oh, so you come out, go right and hug the wall of the room.
One more. Yes. So basically 20 feet as far as he could move there.
Sure.
And he wants to look at where this magic item he believes is.
Okay, you look at, give me a perception check. Just trying to do this quickly. I'll let it be open as well. You're looking on the desk, on this like large table in the center of the room with the maps and documents.
That is a 41.
Okay, you quickly look and you spot, oh, what the hell is this? You see what looks like maybe a magic scroll on the table.
Okay.
In the area, the 5-foot space that your detect magic indicated a level 20 necromancy item is.
Terrifying.
Yeah. So that's 1 action to open the door, 1 action to move, 1 action to seek. That's your turn.
Fair enough.
All right. all of a sudden, you're looking at the desk pretty closely, Fox. So are you, Val. You see one of the rags kind of twitch, and you realize that, that rag looks fleshy.
Ugh.
And you realize that it looks almost like someone's face, but with little mandible legs underneath it. And it twitches for a second and begins to flap its own body and skin and begins to almost lift up off the desk, and then thump, it dis-fucking peers.
Oh, it's those freaking masks that we fought earlier.
It's a MODOK.
Machine.
I don't remember what MODOK stands for anymore.
It has to
If you
do
don't
with
know who
machine
MODOK is,
only
Google it.
designed
Something
for
like
machine only designed, or man only designed for killing or something. I don't know. It's a Marvel thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So appears, kind of moves, twitches, and then just whoomp.
Didn't Val figure out that these were sack hills earlier?
Yes.
Because we encountered that one in the mill.
Yeah. It's, you know what? I think I even have some art. We can do a little bit
Oh
of...
no, I did remember not liking this.
Who
Who wants to describe what this sack hill looks like?
Well, we have a drop for that, I believe.
Yeah, we
Oh,
do. And we're
God.
going to need the whole time.
Kind of like a tumor,
It's so bad.
shaped like Santa's hat.
It's shaped
Also
like
a scorpion.
like a Hershey's kiss.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah, I
gross,
can
no.
see that.
Yeah.
Ew.
After it's been digested, maybe.
You want
And,
to
like,
melted a little bit.
Crab legs?
Does someone
Yeah.
want to start from the top? You're describing a lot of attributes. But
All right, so
Definitely.
starting from the top, this thing's body, it does have like a Santa's hat shape to it
True.
on
Yeah.
its side, but on the... Is that the back of it?
There's like holes and tumors in it.
Yeah, if you have trypophobia, this is not a good monster for you.
It's,
It's-
definitely bulbous.
Imagine a living mask.
Reddish
If At
brown.
the bottom of the mask were little
Yeah.
spider legs.
There's a
Yeah.
little hole where the eyeballs go, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
Little
And
nose holes
some
in front.
breathe holes. And some legs.
Very, very scary, pokey spider crab legs.
Sort of a fleshy mask. Who wants to take a crack at pronouncing this
Stop
thing's
saying
name?
fleshy.
Janie, you want to go for
No, I
it?
don't.
Pass it down to Trent.
Uh-oh.
Hurry up and read its stats.
Chacanage
Checkanage.
is what I
Chacanage.
would say.
Yeah, that's what we're going to call it. All right.
Checkanage.
That was
Naturally.
perfect timing on the drop.
Yeah, I knew we were going to need the whole time. Thank you, Sherman.
Yes.
Shout out to Sherman.
Yeah.
Sure.
What's up, Sherman?
Sherman, make yourself a Sherman shout out.
Our next drop is just, what's up, Sherman?
So you see that sort of flutter, thump,
God damn it.
disappear.
Was it the same one that disappeared from us before?
Could be. And then it returns, pops right back into visibility. And with one action left, I think it's going
In the same
to-
place?
Yeah, did it move?
No. It thump, thump. And I think with its final action, it is going to fly up about 10 feet up into the room. So you could, it's 10 feet up. I'm going to check the heights of the room really quickly. If it's higher, it might fly higher.
Should have stayed within reach. Could have stabbed it.
You're right.
You do the best that you can
Yeah.
with the rules.
I-
What's up,
Sorry,
Jake?
did you say that it did come back in the same spot and now it's just
Yeah.
going up?
Yep.
Okay.
Wayne got someone.
It told somebody like,
told
they're here. Yeah.
It's wild that you say that, Jason, because it's now something else's turn. These ceilings are 12 feet high through most of the monastery crypts. So it will be in a space that is adjacent from anyone who's on the ground. You'll just be attacking up and at an angle. You will not need to reach to reach it, but it is just getting up. A second creature's turn. Boom, a second one of these fleshy spider masks pops into existence above the desk. Now there are two of these, I think they're technically teeny creatures. Yeah. Floating right above the desk
Aw.
to the south.
Technically
Is it teeny or
teeny?
tiny?
It is tiny. I
He
just like
says
saying
teeny all the time.
It's just something I like. So they're hovering right above the desk to the south of the door where Val and Drosharis came in. Pop, pop. The second one pops in with one action. It has two actions left. So I think it's going to try to throw a spell over at one of our friends here. Ah, man, you got to love when creatures can do shit like this. So even though you're invisible, I need you to roll a will save for me, Fox. As it casts a spell and you feel shaken deep down in your bones. Give me a will save.
But not stirred.
It is a fear-related ability.
Good
if
one.
that affects anything. I missed your joke. What was it? Was it good?
But not stirred.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Can I do something?
Possibly.
The trigger is a spell targets you or includes you in its area.
This is a spell targeting you.
Okay, I have the anti-magic room on my armor.
Okay.
Nice.
I want to trigger that
And trigger it for this.
to counteract the triggering spell.
Okay. Now you make a counteract check.
Yeah, with the plus 26 modifier.
Okay. The DC for this, I've got it. Go ahead and roll. What's your result?
36.
That is going to be enough to counter this fear spell.
Nice.
So some part of it starts to like mentally creep into your mind to bring out all sorts of the fears that you have had in your life. And this rune flares on your armor. It seems to cut through the magical runes and sorceries reaching out from this creature. That's its turn. Valentine, it's finally your turn. There are these two little masks that are using, imagine like the shape of a mask. The edges of the mask shape themselves is like little wings. Almost imagine bats in the way they're flapping themselves to stay aloft.
Ill.
Horror rocks.
Okay, so Val, I don't actually know which of these things would happen first. She's intending to bullet split, targeting both of them.
Okay.
But she wants to roll a stratagem on it.
Sure. So the first thing you'll need, if you want to devise
Stratagem
a stratagem.
first.
Yes. And so there's two of the masks. There's the one closer to you that has the unpainted miniature and the one farther away from you that has the
Okay.
painted miniature.
Closer to me, stratagem.
Okay. So an action on that.
Uh-huh.
And you do get a free recall knowledge on this, which I will roll for you. What's your religion bonus?
Plus 25.
Okay. That's going to be really high. What would you like to, what are you interested in knowing about these things? Come on, you got this.
Yeah. Can they dimension out all the time?
Okay.
Can they do that unlimitedly?
So yeah, so you did really well. So what I'll say is you get some specific information. They can, as a single action, use an ability called... There's a rule for that. You can, they can as a single action use an ability called Skip Between, which has the Conjuration, Divine, and Teleportation traits. Trent, how we say these things' names?
Chakanaj is what I'm going with.
The Chakanaj Sackhills move from the material plane to the ethereal plane, or vice versa, with the effects of an ethereal jaunt spell, except the effect has an unlimited duration and can be dismissed. A summoned Sackhill can't use Skip Between. So if they're summoned as a result of like a summoning and binding pact, but so these Sackhills seem to be skipping back and forth between our plane and the ethereal plane.
Okay.
And it seems to have skipped in the ethereal plane and been like, they're here! And other Sackhills are now foom, foom, foom. So remember, this is the doorway that Nelabit went down looking for something in particular.
Nelabit was like, nope.
Yep.
Okay, so Val will relay, they can go to the ethereal plane. They're coming in and out. Probably bringing more. And then her stratagem is a roll that she will accept. So that's a 42 to hit this one, and she wants to pull up the dagger and bullet split to hit the other one.
So is it an attack roll against each or one attack roll applied against each?
It is 2 attack rolls.
Okay.
So the 42 will be for this one.
Okay.
And then the other one will get its own.
Okay. So
Very
42 will hit the first one, and then what's your attack roll on the second one?
Attack roll on the second. Oh, probably not as good.
And you'll gain your bonus damage on the first one, but not on the second.
Right. And sorry. 29 to hit the second one.
That's a miss.
Okay. So the second one misses, but the first one hits?
Yep.
Okay.
So roll damage for me. What do you got?
It's 45 points of damage on the first one.
Okay. Great. How many actions is that to bullet split?
It's 2, I believe.
Okay. So
it's sorry, wrong one. It's 1 action.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I have another action.
Yep.
I'm just gonna move more into the room, up closer to
Move east
Watson.
towards
Yeah, I'm going.
the table and towards Watson. So north and east.
Yep.
To the north of the table near Watson, who's coming from the back.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Okay. It's now something else's turn. This is
Yikes.
a stat block I tried to do a lot of prep for.
Great.
But I'm not honestly great at it, so you're gonna have to bear with me.
I'm just going to close the door.
Yeah, we should just leave. Isn't there like one spell that can prevent things from dimension dooring?
I have it.
Yes.
But that's dimension door. Now, it's teleportation spells.
It's plane shift.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so these have the teleportation trait. Okay, so Fox.
I just punched my mic over.
Through one of these solid crypt doors to the south of you, a creature seems to walk through the crypt door. Well, walk is the wrong word, but come through the crypt door as if it were a curtain. This medium-sized mass of just human limbs. Like, you ever see those hydraulic press videos where they put a bunch of like crayons in it? Imagine if the stuff that came out of a hydraulic press video was just human body parts that were all pushed together into like this just ball of tangled pieces, limbs, heads, faces, mouth, and feet. And it rolls itself almost a sphere of human parts through the door to immediately south of you, Fox.
Great.
This has like Cronenberg written all over it.
It's very, very body horror-esque. So it rolls up to you like that, and one of the mini fists from its body just slams into you.
It sees me too.
And you know what? You know what? I'll give you this. I'll give you this as well, Jane. Most sack hills have true seeing.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, you do the best that you can.
I just wanted to put it out there just in case you had forgotten.
Let me double check that this one has, yes, true seeing. So you're fine.
Okay.
So this one comes in. I don't have any good art, but just imagine, a bunch of body parts all shoved together.
Gross.
Yeah. And so it rolls out, and one of its mini fists just flails at you. Jesus Christ. Fuck.
Critical. It's a 1. Wow, this is awkward.
It's a 1, isn't it?
That's much better.
Okay, so I fetched my Paizo Critical Fumble deck because I left that in the other room. Super professional operation here today, folks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Roll a d6 for me.
For the
Fox.
record, James wore a jacket today. He did come in with it. It was very professional.
Dapper AF.
2.
Okay, 2. Second card from the top. This is a melee attack. Fumble, bad grip. You take a -2 penalty to attack rolls with this weapon until the end of your next turn. So it only has the weapon. It's weird fists.
Great.
And so something about that is going to be a -2 on follow-up attacks. It does have one action left.
Sounds
and you know what it was
ideal.
going to do? It was going to smack at you again. It's certainly not going to cast a spell. Ugh. All right.
How dare you.
So it'll try to hit you with its fist again at an additional -2. Okay, that's a lot better. You guys are level 18, right?
Correct.
So I don't get a card on this. Natural 20.
Oh,
Oh.
man. Liar.
Critical hit.
Well, let's check with all the with all the stuff and all the penalties. How do we feel about a 58 to hit?
It's actually miss.
That's a crit.
Yeah. Not even close.
So
really.
funny. We're level 18. Don't know if you know.
Yeah. What level are you?
Suck it.
Okay. So it's going to do some damage to you. Let me grab a couple of dice over here. This is going to be a fun time, everyone.
Very excited. If you couldn't tell.
Okay. So it hits and deals, holy shit. It's going to be 24 points of bludgeoning damage.
Got it.
And then 10 points of evil damage. You are good aligned, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
So you got that in there?
How many? 10?
Yep.
Okay.
10 points of evil. Okay. And now, as its fist hits you, you start to feel confined, pressed in on. And it's unnerving. You feel like maybe you can't move. Maybe you can't breathe. I need you to give me a will save. This has emotion, mental. Also has incapacitation.
Great.
Ooh.
Trent, do me a favor. Will you look up incapacitation? I can't remember if it has to be higher level or at the same level.
It's a good roll.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your role here.
If I was good at math, It would be faster.
You know what? I got something for you.
A 45.
Ooh. Well, that's a success.
Okay, good.
Now,
Yeah, it is.
Do you have the, like, not Iron Will, whatever it's
Yeah,
called, to
yeah, I
upgrade
do.
your crit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, so then we don't need to worry about the incapacitation effect right now. But you feel like if you'd failed, something bad would have happened. Trent, is it incapacitated? Is it higher level then, or as high as level?
Okay. There's this part that I didn't know was part of this.
Sure.
If a spell has the incapacitation trait, any creature of more than twice the spell's level treats the result of their check to prevent being incapacitated by the spell as 1 degree of success better.
Yeah. That's for spells.
Or the result of any check the spellcaster made to incapacitate them as 1 degree of success worse.
Yep.
If any other effect has the incapacitation trait, a
Like
creature
this.
of higher level than the item, creature, or hazard generating the effect gains the same benefits.
Okay, so you would not gain the benefit from this because it is the same level as you.
Okay.
So
But
normally this is such a powerful ability that like it doesn't want to completely end the fight for you, but it's saying that this is a dangerous enough threat that even if you roll a failure, it's a failure. So you managed to push back against this claustrophobic fear that's seeping into the back of your head. And that's the end of its turn.
Look for resolve. That's the one you'd have for
Perfect.
for will.
To this day, I still always want to call it Iron Will
I
for
know.
absolutely no reason. Okay, then the little orange miniature Shakhal is going to pop into existence slightly to the north
Oh,
of the
yikes.
unpainted one. It's just also the writing desk.
Whose idea was it to go this way? I think it was mine, but still.
All of us were like, no, it's so lame.
Yeah.
It's fine.
just wanted to go home.
5 sack hills later.
I might.
This one pops into existence. I think it's going to target you, Val,
Oh.
and it's going to do something fun. Let's, yeah. Let's go ahead. It's going to, actually, no, you know what? In one action to pop in, it's going to cast a spell on itself.
Fireball?
Nope. And it does something to itself, and then it's then going to pass its turn. All right. Let me go. So everyone just remember that the orange miniature is a little weirder. Drosharis, it's your turn.
All right.
Doors open. You get to see this whole room play out.
I have enough movement. I've counted out to get up to the east of him.
To the big one that came in through the crypts. So you're going to dash down to the south, over to the west, behind Fox, showing up to help against this sort of compacted mass of bodies.
And I have one action left.
Awesome. Oh, it's 2 actions to get there?
Yep.
Okay. So you boom, boom, run down. I'm guessing Bastard Sword's been out. Oh,
Patching
Jason showed
it.
me an initial 1, but we're turning in a patch from,
For my buddy, Trigva.
oh, thanks for the patch and helping Jason out here.
Yeah.
And because it was a patch. All right, what's your new roll to hit, Jason?
50.
Holy shit,
Whoa.
that is
It's
notably
much better.
fucking
Thank
better.
you, Trigva.
Yeah, good use of
Yeah.
a patch.
Yeah.
Did you roll a 1?
The first one
One and
was
a
a 1.
16.
Wow.
Okay, so a 50?
50.
Oh, you're not flanking, so that's just a hit.
Okay.
Sorry, bro.
All right.
I thought you were going to say wasn't a hit.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like,
You're not
Jesus.
flanking, so that doesn't hit.
Sorry,
Like, oh, we are
bro.
in trouble.
Yeah.
Everybody cry.
All right. What do you got coming in?
35.
Okay, and this is which weapon are you using?
Oh, sorry. And then I have to do the 1d6 fire.
It's 2d6 total fire.
That's true. It is.
All
Thank
good.
you.
So how much was the first damage? 30 something?
35. You
Okay.
said.
35 points of slashing damage, magical, and then some other...
7 fire.
So it's 42 points of damage.
Mhm.
It looks like not all of that gets through.
Mm.
You can learn a little bit more about that if you want to do some recall knowledges on there. I also will note that
That's
recall
my
knowledge...
fourth action. I would like to recall knowledge.
It's a little more difficult to recall knowledge down here with that sort of oppressive force on your mind.
Ooh.
Boo.
So, yeah, just thought I'd mention that. Okay,
I tried to think, but it hurts.
story of my life.
Yep.
So you rush out and slash into it. Your blade sort of slips through part of it. Like maybe it's between parts of the bodies. Maybe it's just through it. and a little bit in the same way it passed through the door, out the other side, dragging some gore and viscera with it, but not as much as it should have.
Gross.
And finally, one final little fleshy mask pops into existence above the map table in the center of the room.
Think it's a coincidence that there's 4 masks?
Ooh.
Could be anything.
Scary.
Pops here. All right, Val, go ahead and give me a will save as this one pops into existence, moves its empty hollow eye holes at you, concentrates, and casts a spell.
Oh,
It's
I have
pretty
no
dope.
idea what my will is.
Your will save?
Is it in range of me?
No, it's just out of range. It's a little closer to Val than it is on the map.
That's a
Alright.
44. That's a 44. So that is going to be a success.
Nice. I have resolve, so it's a crit success.
Nice.
So nothing happens. Actually, it was a crit success even with your just result.
Nice.
So you fight back the fears from this creature. It's the end of turn 1. Fox, it's your turn.
That was a long round.
I'm not afraid of you.
Well, a lot of creatures showed
Lot
up.
of
So
creatures,
Fox, you've got this weird amalgamation of bodies and limbs immediately to the south of you. West of you, 20 feet, you've got 3 of these flying masks. And north of you, 15 feet. Hovering above the map table in the center of the room is one more of these odd, weird masks.
Okay, if I move 2 squares to to the west.
Yeah, so you're getting closer to the writing desk where those 3 are hovering.
Yeah, can I reach both creatures or just the...
No, if you move there, everyone is within your range.
Perfect.
And you'll still have the limby creature, the human body part creature, also in range.
Yeah.
And you're not flanking if you're there. If you want to go
One to the
south a little
side.
bit, you'll flank, but then you will be out of range of one of the masks.
Yeah.
So you got to pick flanking on the body part creature or threatening all 3 of the flying masks.
Let's flank.
All right. So
I'm also going to go 10 feet up.
you'll kind
so
of
fly.
up in the air a little bit. You'll juke down to the south just a touch to make sure you've got some action covering your buddy Drosharis.
And then I'm going to throw first attack at the massive limbs.
Okay. So you're flanking this big boy.
Yeah, may as well take
And-
advantage of it, right?
Yep. Is this a normal attack?
This is a normal attack.
Okay. I feel like I'm such a fanboy. I'm always like, is it a spell strike? Do we get to say spell
I
strike?
know. We'll get there. Don't worry.
Okay.
48 to hit.
That's a hit. Let me check the fucking AC on that. Yeah, that's a hit. So, bam, you fly up into the air, whip that pole arm back and behind you down at an angle and just slam it into this collection of body parts.
I'm using my new halberd too.
Oh, the major striking?
Yeah, I did 43 damage.
Jesus.
Nice, dude.
Hell yeah.
So many dice. Okay, well, cool.
And I'll attack.
And same thing, not all of that seems to get through, but,
Right.
it does purchase on the body, so.
I'll attack the mask.
There's basically the southmost mask, the middle mask, and the northmost mask all along the wall
We'll go
above the desk.
southmost.
Okay, so you'll whip that up into what I've cleverly decided to call Mask 2.
Great, perfect.
Yep. So you whip it into the creature behind you. Bring it forward.
39.
39 is 100% going to be a hit. Slams into that one as well. Go ahead and get some damage for me.
All right, damage is
Doing good.
28 on that one.
Okay, and that seems to all go through. No other special damage types, just magical on that, right?
Yes, I believe that's correct.
All right. That's your turn. Watson.
It did go through all of that.
All of that went through.
Okay,
Yeah.
Nice. Watson is going to cast Field of Life,
Okay.
which is a 20-foot burst. Should pretty well cover the entire
Sure.
northwest portion of the map here.
Okay. So not where all these enemies are right now.
Sorry.
Southwest.
Southwest, yeah.
Now, does this heal anyone that's alive inside of it? Or
It
does it just says allies?
Let me read for you. A field of positive energy fills the area, exuding warmth and rejuvenating those within.
Okay.
Each living creature that starts its turn in the area regains 1d8 hit points. Any
Okay.
undead creature that starts its turn in the area takes 1d8 positive damage.
Okay.
I am hoping to God that these are undead.
Sure. All right. So you cast the spell. Thump.
That is 2 actions.
Sure.
And I believe Fox has not received a guidance. So we're going to throw a guidance over at Fox.
Okay.
Thanks.
That's your turn. All right. It is now the unpainted miniature mask's turn. And at the beginning of its turn, how much does it heal, Trent?
1d8.
All right, it heals 2 points of damage.
Fair enough.
Okay, now that it's healed that, it's going to use some of its cool stuff. Which I feel like I should be better about what it has. I really wish it had more ranged cool stuff, but it's pretty lame.
Uses fly home to mama.
Yeah, no, I mean, it might as well just keep chucking this at people. It's going to go ahead and... Oh, it's not going to fucking cast a spell. It's going to step forward 5 feet with its flight to get adjacent to Fox. And it is then going to strike at you with its teeny little leg.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little chitinous mask leg. And that will be... 36 to hit?
Miss.
Fuck.
You love to see it.
35 to hit.
Miss.
Yeah, that's its fucking turn. Okay, the next one down, though, the one to the south of that one is going to heal a d8 points of damage. It's going to heal 4 points of damage and go to that much. It will then also flutter, take a 5-foot step towards Fox up into the air, and let's hope I can roll better on this one. Okay, hear me out. 39 to hit.
Miss.
God fucking damn it.
Let's go.
And that's going to be a miss, too. That's its turn. Valentine, it's your turn.
It's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to roll a stratagem against the mask on the table in front of me.
Okay.
Not going to take that. So let's see.
What are you doing?
I think this guy is in range of me.
So are you running
No, I'm just trying to shoot from over there. Yeah. So I'm going to try to shoot at the other one.
the mask above the table? Or no, the mask over near the west wall of the writing desk?
Yes, that one.
The one that hasn't moved away to attack Fox yet?
The strange
Indeed.
orange
I think
one.
that's the only one that I can hit from where I'm standing.
Okay.
So
I think
I
they're
will.
all in range, but that one definitely is.
Yeah. He did something weird. I don't like him. I'm going to shoot him.
Okay, so I did say they did something weird, so now we have some stuff to do.
Oh, God.
So as you're going to attempt a hostile action against it, I need you to make a will save.
Okay.
And do you have that thing that makes it better if you succeed?
Yes. Resolve.
Okay, so what's your will save here?
Da-da-da-da-da.
It's because as you look
So
at it
many
closely enough
numbers.
to attack it, it looks so terrifying, so fearful that it almost is distracting you from what you're doing.
35.
You are able, though, to maintain your focus and not receive any negative penalties. You're also immune to the spell for a turn.
Nice. Okay, so then I am going to shoot at this thing.
Yep.
Jesus.
That was really close to an 18.
It was really close to an 18, but it was in fact not an 18. Instead, it is a 36.
36 is going to be a hit still.
Nice.
No, you only get your normal damage.
Yeah, not a
Boo.
strategic strike, which sucks. But still 24 points of damage on that guy.
Okay, and that's number 3, 24 points of damage.
Uh-huh. So let's see, what did I do? I did a stratagem, I did that.
You did a stratagem. You would have had to reload because you shot your gun last time.
Right.
You split a bullet, so that's probably your
Yep.
turn.
Yep.
Reload,
That's it.
stratagem, shoot.
Yep.
Now it's the giant collection of body parts turn. I really like this. This one's a fun one for me. There's a little bit of a clue to it earlier, but all of you were too busy hating an NPC.
Wait, when was there a mention of it earlier?
You were all too busy hating an NPC to pay attention to it.
We're hating on Nelibit?
Pay attention to what?
The giant fleshy thing over here.
The giant collection of body parts. All right.
Earlier in this episode or a different one?
Oh, many episodes ago.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe that makes it less fun. So here's what's going to happen. Yeah, this is going to be good. It's just going to start attacking all of you. I think it's going to throw a hit at you, Drosharis.
Wait, is this the big guy?
Yeah. All
Does
the
he
limbs and
take
bodies.
damage at the beginning of its turn?
Oh, no, that's right. He heals.
Okay.
D8.
Bummer.
3 points.
Well, now I know I can not sustain that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a free action, Trent.
Yeah, it is.
Heals. You see the mini fleshy parts of its body beginning to stitch back together.
Watson, this is the second time you've healed the enemy at least.
I'm trying to focus. Stop talking to me.
Val's going to be like, stop healing all the enemies.
Hey, trying to have this whole thing about how he heals anyone
That's
who's
true.
hurt.
Yeah, right.
That's his character.
These are
Not
evil
the people we're
extraplanar
killing.
monsters.
It looked like he was in pain.
All right. So it's getting a -2, I believe, until the end of its next turn? Or just the end of that turn? End of your next turn. So it'll have a -2 on all of its attacks this turn.
Sweet.
So nice job getting a 1 out of that. So it's coming for you, Drosharis. One of its limbs just whips out at you. Oh, fuck. Okay, even with a -2. Oh, God. Okay, so that's... Ooh. Yep. 52 to hit.
Crit.
No
Fuck, that's a crit.
way.
Yeah.
All right, well...
Dang.
We had some big damage here. That was a really good roll on its first attack, so I'm not super surprised by that. So that's going to be, oh god. So first comes the bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
That's going to be 62 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
What's your alignment?
Chaotic neutral.
Fuck, so the evil damage doesn't hurt you.
How many damage did you say again?
62 points of
62.
bludgeoning damage.
Yeah,
and
when you
here's-
asked him earlier, like, are you a good character? I was like, fuck yeah.
So you got that going for you. But now I need you to roll a will save.
Okay.
This is a mental incapacitation and emotion. It's also enchantment and divine. But you are the same level. You're not higher level than this effect, so your result will be your result.
Fail.
Fail.
Yeah, I mean, I rolled a 2.
Dang.
Ooh. You know, you begin to feel pressing in around you a stronger and stronger force. Almost like dirt pushing down in on your chest.
I'm being buried alive.
Your arms in tight to your body, your legs together. And exactly what happens, we're going to talk about in the next
Oh,
episode.
no.
God.
It's Edgar Allan Poe.
The Live to Die podcast is a production of Live to Die Gaming. Follow us on social media at Live to Die Pod. Leave a review and tune in next week for more. If you like the amazing background audio and music, all that credit goes to Syrinscape. Make sure you check them out at Syrinscape.com.